How to start a YouTube channel in 2026 has been one of my most requested videos. I did a YouTube video recently that told you what I earned in my first 60 days monetized, and I had so many hundreds of comments on that video just asking, like, they've just started a YouTube video and they would like just some guidance, or they want to start but they just don't have a clue where to start. So I just thought it'd be really interesting just to get all my thoughts down. Let's jump into the video of how to start a YouTube channel in 2026. So the first thing I would say, and just to let everybody know this, that I have learned the hard way, literally in every single topic I'm going to go through, I've learnt the hard way. So I know the do's and don'ts because, trust me, I've done it the hard way. I've been on YouTube 6 years and only this year I've understood like data and analytics. The first category I would say is niche. Now, when I first started, I didn't have a clue about niche. 6 years later, I'm only just now learning the importance of like having a niche. There's gaming, there's self-love, there's well-being, there's fitness, there's motherhood, there's finance, and these niches, there's so many. You can even make your own niche that's like no one's got on YouTube. That is why YouTube is so amazing, because you can be so unique to anyone else out there because it's such a saturated field. So like being you are the business. Unfortunately, you do actually need a niche. You can't just jump on YouTube and be like, what I eat in a day, or the day in the life with me, because hard truth, no one cares. You're literally a nobody. Like, I'm sorry, this is a hard truth, but like, I know that now. So I would do my first couple of YouTube videos, I would like do day in the life, and I'm think, nobody knows who I am. Nobody cares who I am. Like, there's other people with hundreds and millions of subscribers doing days in the life or what I eat in a day. They're obviously going to watch them before they watch little Eld me. Come on. I think a niche, it just gives you somewhere to focus and someone to start, and it helps you drive the community in, because there's people who love that niche and really like are interested in it, and they'll be loyal to you, and you'll gain a community throughout that niche. Definitely pick a niche that you're interested in and you love and you want to stick to, because time and time again you'll have to like literally revolve your life around that niche. You can change your niche, but obviously there is sacrifice with changing the niche. You can lose the first subscribers who was like into my fitness, could have like dropped off because they're not really interested in like motherhood vlogs anymore. You will be a small channel at first, so you can test the waters with your niche, and if you're feeling like bored of it, or you've gone into something else, like you're more interested in something else, you've got time to change your niche because you've not got that much following yet. So yeah, I would definitely say at the beginning, find a good niche you're really interested in, and then have a little play around. If you want to like add other bits of niches in, it's literally fine in the beginning because you've not got a huge following. When you get a lot more subscribers, it's a lot harder to change your niche, because them subscribers who are with you, say for fitness, you go into like baking and food, they'll be like, I come here to watch you in the gym, I didn't come here to watch a lemon drizzle. The second one I want to talk about is editing. Now, editing, trust me, I have been through some apps, some equipment, and some tears. So I don't know why, but I decided when I started YouTube that I would just buy the Canon G7X. I'd never ever vlogged before, didn't even have a YouTube account, and I saved all my money. I think it was £700 at the time. I literally just bit the bullet and paid £700 for the Canon G7X. Realising later, you don't actually need to do that. You can literally record on your phones now. The camera is just as good. And I just feel like the Canon G7X, it is so big and bulky. And I don't know, I just feel like a little embarrassed in public filming with the Canon G7X. I just was too shy because it was so big and bulky, especially if you've got it on a tripod. Yeah, but anyway, you don't need to do what I did. You don't need to spend £700 on a camera. I just decided to do that. Learned the hard way. Like, it's not a waste of money. You know, I had a good camera, but the iPhone, your phone is just as good. At the moment, I have the DJI Pocket Osmo 3, but being honest, literally I could record on my phone. I literally could record on my iPhone. I just prefer the Osmo Pocket 3 because it's small and it's compact and it fits in like the pram and things, because my niche is motherhood. Also with the equipment is like tripods and things like that. This is like really embarrassing, but I only purchased my first tripod last year, I think, or the year before. The first 4 years on YouTube, I used to balance my camera on like a bottle of water or the kitchen side. Yeah, embarrassing, but it's the truth. As long as something is there, you don't need the best tripod, you don't need the best camera, just work with what you've got. I also find like you don't need the best editing apps. So I'll be honest, in the beginning I used to use like iMovie and my laptop, and it used to take me hours. It's obviously a lot harder with kids as well, so that's scrapped out the window. I'll let you into a little secret. I use CapCut on my phone because having 2 little ones and working, it's like so hard to get the laptop out and actually sit down and edit, where I just transfer it from my DJI onto my phone and then I just do it as and when I can. You don't need the best, most expensive monthly subscription editing app. I literally use CapCut. I've used iMovie before, and also the DJI has its own app that you can install on your phone. I use that. So much easier and it's free. The next bit of advice I would say is just start now. Like, don't delay because you're embarrassed, you're scared that people are going to see and make fun of you. Just do it. And you've got to remember, nobody is good at the start. Refine as like literally you go on, get better as you go on. My first, I'd say my first 100 videos are cringe worthy. My first video that was like, welcome to my channel, get to know me, I must have done about 50 cuts. I'll link that video down below, but it's so cringe. Like, it's so cringe. But then as you go on, like your first video, your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth, they're all going to be rubbish. I swear to God, they're all going to be rubbish, going to be cringy. But you've got to start somewhere, and then your 100th video will be so much more better, and it'll be so much more worthwhile because you will learn so much from your mistakes. You've got to remember that even the best YouTubers, the ones with the millions of subscribers, they started from the bottom. They started from 0 subscribers, 0 views. Like, they started with like crap, with rubbish videos, but you've got to start somewhere. And on that, you don't wait for like the best backdrop or a picture being delivered or your roots being done or you need to do your makeup. No one's bothered about like the aesthetic look. It's actually quite boring now anyway. You will get the loyal subscribers if you're just your authentic self and just rock up as you are. You don't need anything aesthetic or the best backdrop. One thing I'll add in is YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts are relatively new. They wasn't here like when I first started, but obviously with like other platforms going on to like short form video, YouTube have cranked it up and also gone into YouTube Shorts. I would say don't rely on YouTube Shorts as your main form. Adding ones here and there is literally fine. It does bring in a lot more views than a long form video. Loyal subscribers and community is in the long form video. Another thing I'd like to add on is scheduling. Now, scheduling is really important in YouTube. I actually underestimated at first, probably for the first 5 years, how important scheduling is to your channel. You've literally got to treat your channel as a business because that is what it is and you are the brand. So having a schedule is really important. It can stop you from burning out, it can keep viewers interested, and it just gives you ideas so you're not panicking like, oh, next week what am I going to upload? I don't have anything to upload. So with the schedule at the minute, I upload once a week every Saturday at 9 AM. And I have a list on my notes, and I literally have the next 8 weeks videos wrote down. They're not made out or anything, but they just wrote down the titles and what they are and what I'm going to do. It just helps me, especially when I actually still work and I've got 2 little kids, just having them wrote down so I know for the next 8 weeks what I'm going to be recording, uploading, editing, and then once that 8-week block's done, I'll do the next 8-week block on my notes, just to make it so much easier, and it's really just stop burnout, and it stops thinking, oh, I've got nothing else to record, because you've already got it wrote down. So I spend literally I'll spend a full day just thinking about what can my next 8 weeks of videos be and how can they be the best from the previous 8 weeks. I just find having a day of just committing of what you're going to use for the next 8 weeks really helps. And you've got to understand as well, quality over quantity. It's no good uploading 4 videos a week and they're just not that good. People will like if you just do like 1 video a week, 1 video every 2 weeks, and if it's really good, in-depth quality content. And I just think scheduling honestly makes your life so much better on YouTube. Within the scheduling as well, I just want to add this in, like, the best advice I could give is honestly try and be yourself. Don't put on this like fake voice. You don't need to rock up all the time with like your makeup done, the best clothing. Literally, if you look on my channel, my hair's constantly in a bun knot. I never ever wear makeup. I've always got a black tee on. The house is a mess. I've always got the washing in the background. But I think people don't mind that because it's relatable. Like, no one is perfect, aesthetic perfect all the time. Nobody wants to see it. It gets boring. Nobody cares that you can shop 7 days a week and you can go on 1,700 holidays a year, because that's not real life to most people. So yeah, I think being relatable and just acting like you're talking to your mates, I just think helps. From scheduling, I want to just give you some confidence tips and just some tips that I wish someone told me, because you think people are like laughing at you and like you're like, oh my god, am I like a loser for doing this? But honestly, you're not. So this is the biggest one, and I wish someone told me this 5 years ago. But the biggest one is, people are going to talk about you, and they are going to talk about you. But the funny thing is, them people who are talking only talk because they couldn't do it themselves, because they don't have that confidence or they don't have that self-belief. So I just think, let them people talk. And honestly, the YouTube community, people who are actually, you know, doing really successful on YouTube, they're like, yeah, go on. They like egg you on and they don't talk shit, because everyone starts from somewhere. And why are people talking shit? Because you're trying to better yourself or trying to do something because you love it. It just makes no sense. But I just think them people who are talking about you only talk about you because they want to do it themselves and they just don't have that self-worth. So yeah, that's what I think. The second confidence tip I'm going to say is, you do get the hate comments. I think it's more people who are like really successful with the YouTube. I've like grew a couple of 100 subscribers recently, and the hate comments are creeping in, unfortunately, but it's just part of the party. You've just got to roll with it, and you've just got to think, that's not a reflection of you. It's actually a reflection of them. They must be going through something. Their life must be awful for them to look at your video and project a nasty comment. Take their time out of their day to just comment that nasty comment. They must have a really sad life. So yeah, the hate comments, and you can block them, you can delete the comment. Unfortunately, it is part of the parcel and you've just got to roll with it. On the other side of that, you do get lovely, loyal subscribers who comment every week and comment the nicest things. Like, honestly, my loyal subscribers, I love them so much because they make me so happy. Just remember that nobody is you. You are unique. You are the selling product. Nobody is you. So as long as you're your authentic self, you will get loyal subscribers. People love watching authenticity. Honestly, trust me on that. One thing as well that I will say, and it's not nice to hear, but you've got to be in it for the right reasons. Don't start a YouTube channel if you think you want to be rich and famous. It's not going to work. It is not going to work like that. It's such a hard, long process. And unless you're like really passionate about your niche, about editing, about YouTube, you will not make it. I think, especially when you reach the partner program, and I do have a video on the partner program and how much I earn in the first 60 days, which I will link below. That is a really interesting vlog, but I just think, especially when you reach that high and you don't see the results, it's not actually making me that much money at first, I'm going to stop. So yeah, you've got to be passionate about it, because you will not get rich quick. Trust me on that. It's more for people who are passionate about what they're doing than want to be rich and famous. Trust me. I literally love editing, not too much. I'm like, I've got to edit tonight, I can't be bothered. But the filming and then the community I've grown on my channel, I love you all, obviously, as you know. I hope this has been helpful, and thank you if you got all the way to the end of this video. Tag your channels below. Let me see them, let me see how good they're going. And yeah, so thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.